Well, good morning, everyone. I hope all of you are doing well. As per our conversation before, ignore the thunder, there's like storm happening outside. But as per our conversation during our last video lecture, this is going to be a grammar video lesson. Now, this is going to be about determiners, this chapter, and so I'm not going to take a lot of time being here because this is not very complicated and a lot of you actually know how to use your determiners properly. Some of you don't, some of you still mess them up, that's why I'm making this video. But once we're done and like we have our online session and everything and you guys let me know that you understand this chapter completely, then we'll start working on tenses because tenses are going to take a lot of time because you guys have really bad understanding of tenses and how they work and how to use them in your writing. So this is going to be a pretty short video. Like the rest of the grammar videos, I'll be putting forth like slides on the screen and then talking over them. And there'll be some exercises at the end, like not a lot, just 2 or 3 maybe. So this is just gonna be what I'm gonna be doing with you guys till this week maybe, and from next week we'll just start on tenses depending on the time and depending on like what the circumstances are. At the same time, if you're watching this video and you haven't given your English exam yet or you haven't gotten your marks yet, please get in touch with me. Please either get in touch with me or your class teacher because we have to take your retests. I'll try to contact all the people individually, but if it doesn't happen and you're watching this video and you haven't gotten your English marks or anything, please get in touch with me or your class teacher, alright? So anyway, let's get started on this grammar video and I hope all of you guys have fun. So what we'll be taking a look today at is going to be determiners, as we've already know. So determiners or noun signals are special adjectives used before nouns. There are different kind of determiners. The most popular one that we know of is articles. So the words a, and the are called articles. The words a and an are indefinite articles. They are used with singular nouns. Use a before nouns that begin with a consonant. Use an before nouns that begin with a vowel. Now, consonants are anything other than A, E, I, O, U, and vowels are A, E, I, O, U. I think everybody knows that by now. So the examples are, John is reading a book. Would you like a peach? Is that a dog or a fox? You need a ruler and a pencil. Is there also an entrance at the back of the building? Have you ever seen an elephant? I always take an apple to school. Do you have an umbrella that I can borrow? Would you like to live on an island? Now, the notes are very important, so pay attention. Some vowels have a consonant sound as well as a vowel sound. Use the article a with nouns that begin with these vowels. Is there a university in your town? Does every child in the school wear a uniform? We are taking a European vacation. Now here the reason why we are using a instead of an, even though the words begin with a vowel, is because the sound is not a vowel sound. The sound is a consonant sound with the word yu, right? Uniform is pronounced as yu, uniform. It's not pronounced as uniform because otherwise that would be the U sound, right? So some words begin with a silent H. Use an with nouns that begin with a silent H. You've been waiting here for an R. Now H is silent, right? So what's the next letter? O, R. Meeting the president was an honor for all of us. H silent was the next letter, honor, O-N-O-R, just because it's with O. So keep these notes in mind. Just remember whenever you're pronouncing the word, make sure you're pronouncing it correctly and recognizing what the pronunciation is. Is it a vowel sound or is it a consonant sound? So that's basically your notes for a, and the. So on to the next slide. So the word the is called the definite article. Use the before a noun when you are talking to someone who already knows which person or thing you mean. So for example, Dad is sitting in the garden. Who made the mess on the carpet? Turn the television off now. I'll wait for you in the car. The boys are upstairs and the girls are outside in the street. So pretty clear, the is a definite article. Definite means something specific, something very particular that you're talking about. That's why we use the word the. Now, using nouns without articles. When you're talking about something in general, not a particular thing, use a noun without an article. You can also use plural nouns without an article. Now, this might be a little bit difficult to understand, but once you look at the examples, it'll make a lot more sense. So, frogs are my favorite animals. Children like playing games. Babies cry a lot. Glasses are things that you wear to correct your eyesight. Birds are animals that can fly. People enjoy watching television. Now, all of these sentences have something in common, which is that we're not talking about anything specific. We're not talking about a specific frog, not a specific child, not a specific baby, not a specific pair of glasses, or not a specific species of birds, or not somebody who is like a person that we are referring to by name. So here we can use our nouns without any articles, without a, and, or, the. All right. Even plural nouns like frogs, children, babies, glasses, these are all plural nouns, can be used without an article. Nouns that don't show quantity are normally used without a or an. The article the, however, may be used with nouns that don't show quantity. Now, quantity means the number of something or how much something is. That's what quantity means. So, for example, I like sunshine. I sometimes have fruit for breakfast. You've got dirt on your face. A clock measures time. Put sugar in your tea to make it sweet. I need time to think of a new plan. Would you pass me the salt, please? Can I borrow the paint when you've finished? Now, all these words, sunshine, fruit, dirt, time, sugar, time again, the salt, the paint. Now, all of these things aren't very quantifiable. Like, you can't really quantify them in numbers, right? You can't really quantify sunshine in numbers. You can't really quantify fruit in numbers unless until you say, I have 8 fruits or 10 fruits. You've got dirt on your face. You can't say, I've got 10 dirt on my face. You just say, I've got dirt on my face. Clock measures time, all right? So the note is, you often use the singular nouns school, home, work, church without an article. We go to school by bus. Dad has already left home for work. They go to church on Sundays, right? If that makes sense, let me know. If that doesn't make sense, also let me know. So this slide is done. Now moving on. So now we'll be taking a look at demonstrative determiners, or demonstrative if you would like a better pronunciation than what I just gave you. So the words this, that, these, and those are also special pronouns called determiners. They are used to point out which thing or person you mean. All right, they're called demonstrative determiners. Basically, it means demonstrative means showing something or indicating something or denoting something, which is what these words are used for. So for the examples, this and these talk about things and people that are near you. So this and these are used for people or things that are near you. So this is used with singular nouns. These are used with plural nouns. So for example, who lives in this house? These trousers are too short. This car belongs to my mom. I don't like these comics. Does this key fit the lock? These biscuits don't taste very good. You can go through the rest of the examples on your own, but basically this is used for singular nouns that are close to you, and these are used for plural nouns that are also close to you. Now that and those are used to talk about things that are farther away from you. For example, that is used with singular nouns and those are used with plural nouns. So this chair is mine and that chair is yours. I gave my sandwiches to those boys. That animal is making a funny noise. Those children go to a different school. Would you pass me that book, please? These shoes are mine and those shoes are yours. Who is that man talking to dad? Those apples look fresh, but those apples look rotten. All right, or these apples look fresh, but those apples look rotten. Oh my God, I can't read anymore. So these are the examples of demonstrative determiners. This and these and that and those. Just remember, this and these are used for close. That and those are used for things further away from you. This and that means singular. These and those means plural. This is very simple. If you have any questions or anything else, just make a note in your rough notebook and bring it up during the online lecture. Moving on. So now we'll be taking a look at quantifying determiners. So words such as many, much, and several tell about the quantity without giving an exact number. They are called quantifying determiners. So many, much, and several basically aren't giving you a clear idea of how many of something there are, right? There are no numbers given to you here. There's just a general idea of if something is a lot or if something is very little. That's why it's called quantifying determiners. So some quantifying determiners are used only with plural nouns. They are few, a few, fewer, many, several, and both. Now, this is something that you guys mess up whenever you're writing, so pay attention to the examples and look at how they're used, right? Few people have been to the moon. We went to Europe many years ago. A few children are absent today. Several friends went with me. I have fewer CDs than you. Both brothers have dark hair. Now, all these sentences are about an indeterminate number of people. By indeterminate, I mean there is no clear number being placed on the number of people that we're talking about. That's why we're using words like few, many, a few, several, fewer, or both. So the second example is, some quantified determiners can be used with plural nouns and nouns that show no exact number. They are all, half, some, enough, a lot of, lots, lots of, more, most, other, and plenty of. Now, these are a lot of examples. I'm not going to read out all of them, so you have to go through the rest. I'll go through like a few. So all children seem to like chocolate. We have eaten all the food in the refrigerator. Half the balloons have burst already. Jenny spends half a time watching television. Or Jeremy spends half his time watching television if you're being gender equal. Some girls like to play football. Can I have some water? Do you have enough books to read? I don't have enough material to make a dress. A lot of people like burgers. There's a lot of fruit in the bowl. Now go through the rest of the example yourself and try to understand like why these words are being used and what is the quantity that they're trying to denote you. All right, this is good practice whenever you're reading, especially for people who are weak in English. Like, make sure whenever you're going through examples, try to make your own examples in your head. Try to solve these questions in your head as you're going through them. Like, these examples are not just there to show you how the words are being used. They're also there for you to use as a reference whenever you're writing or something. And if you keep this in your mind whenever you're writing, you won't make a lot of mistakes. So, anyways, we're done here. Let's move on to the next. So now taking a look at the next slide, some determiners can be used only with nouns of no exact number. They are little, meaning not much, a little, meaning some, much and less. We have little time to play. There's a little rice left. Does the teacher give you much homework? I've got less ice cream than you. Now pay attention. Little means not much. A little means some, right? If I say I have very little money left, that means I have basically no money left. But if I say I have a little money, that means I have some money. All right, now this is where the English language is confusing. That's why you need to go through these examples. That's why you need to expose yourself to the language by reading a lot more, because the more examples you have in your head, the more easier it will be for you to answer your questions without any mistakes. So the next is some quantifying determiners can be only used with singular nouns. They are another, every, and each. I need another pencil. He likes every child in the class. Each house is painted a different color. Now here we're talking about singular nouns and specific things, specific in the way that we're just talking about one specific thing. That's why we're using different determiners like another, every, and each. The quantifying determiners either and neither refer to two people or things. I don't like either drink, which means I don't like, if you have two drinks in front of you on a table and you say I don't like either drink, that means you don't like any of those two drinks placed in front of you. Neither sister has long hair, which means if you are talking about two sisters and somebody asks you which of the sisters has long hair, you say neither sister has long hair, which means you're referring to both of them with a single word, right? This is why either and neither is used. Some quantifying determiners are used with singular, plural, or nouns of no exact quantity. They are any, no, no other, and the other. Any dog will bite if it's afraid. Are there any good books in the library? There wasn't any space in the cupboard. No child likes getting hurt. There were no pencils in the drawer. We've done no work today. There is no other way of solving the problem. She has no other friends. We have no other food in the refrigerator. You like this picture or the other picture? The other boys laughed at him. I like the other music better. All right. So these are used with singular, plural, or nouns of no exact quantity. Basically, these are used everywhere, and these are very, very common. So just get used to these examples, and these are used very commonly in spoken English, so you have to practice them. And like I said, any questions, anything else, bring it up during the online lecture. Now we come to interrogative determiners. Now interrogative comes from the word interrogation, which basically means asking somebody a question or seeking information from somebody, hence the word interrogation. So the words what, which, and whose are used before nouns to ask questions. Interrogative determiners appear just before nouns. So for example, what time is it? Which boy is your brother? Whose pen is this? So anytime you're asking a question, anytime you're asking an interrogative question from someone, make sure to place your question word or your interrogative determiner in front of your noun. So for example, what time? So what is your interrogative determiner and time is your noun. Which boy? Which is your determiner. Boy is your noun. Whose pen? Whose is your determiner and pen is your noun. So possessive determiners. The words my, your, his, her, its, our, and their. T-H-E-I-R. Now remember this. A lot of you mess this up. T-H-E-I-R is for possession. T-H-E-R-E is for location. Okay. So are used before nouns to show ownership. They are called possessive determiners. I gave my sandwich to John. Is this your desk? Alan crashed his bike into a wall. Mrs. Park keeps her house very clean. Dog was licking its paws. There's a snake in our garden. Susan and Peter have invited me to their party. The possessive determiner your can be used when you're talking to one person or more than one person. Now this is for the notes box that I'm talking about. I'm very angry with you, John. Your behavior has been very bad today. Jake and Josh, your dinner is ready, right? So your can be used when you're talking to one person or more than one person. So now this table that is given here will help you remember how to use possessive determiners. Now you can like take a screenshot of this table and save it with you as an English grammar resource, or you can make it in your notebooks or whatever, like whatever you prefer, you can do. But this is a good table and it'll help you understand everything, like singular personal pronouns, I is the subject pronoun, possessive determiner is me. Me is the object pronoun, the determiner will be my. You is the subject slash object pronoun, possessive one will be yours. He, his, him, his, she, her. It, its, we, are, us, are, you, your, they, their, and them, and their. So now I remember this table by heart and you can try to do this too, but it's not really that important as long as you understand it. So you can take a screenshot or you can copy it in your notebook and then you can use it to study or whenever you're doing some composition or something else. This is very useful. Now, straight up numbers can be used as determiners too. So as written here, numbers are determiners too. Numbers are often used before nouns to tell you exactly how many people or things there are. So for example, our family has 2 dogs. There are 12 months in the year. We bought 3 pizzas. My grandfather lived for 100 years. I don't know how he lived for 100 years, but apparently he did. So using determiners together, you can use quantifying determiners with each other and with numbers. So for example, some people like winter, but many more people prefer summer. There's a little less space in this cupboard than in that one. There are 5 fewer children in my class than in your class. Use of between a quantifying determiner and another kind of determiner. So I don't like any of these drinks, right? Any as a determiner, of I'm using to join it, and I'm joining it with these. So some of my friends don't like country music. Some is a determiner, my is a determiner. So I'm using of, join both of them. Each of the boys answered the question correctly. I've had enough of your bad behavior. 5 of these girls are taller than any of the boys. The quantifying determiner all may be used with or without of. For example, you can say, we ate all of the food in the fridge, we ate all the food in the fridge. Both of these sentences are correct. The same goes for the rest of the examples given here. He spent all of his time playing football. He spends all of his time playing football. She likes all of my friends. She likes all my friends. Don't say she likes my all friends or she likes my all of friends. Like most of you mess this up. Like some of you have written she likes my all friends. Don't do that. All comes before my. All my friends. My all friends doesn't make sense. All my friends make sense because I'm talking about all of whose friends? My friends. My all friends, I'm talking about my all what? It doesn't make sense. So don't do that. So this is the last slide about determiners. After this is going to be a page of exercises. Now your exercises you have to do in your fair notebook as usual. So I'll just end this here. If you have any questions, I'll clear your doubts in the online session, and the exercise is coming up right after this. So make sure you do it in your notebooks anyway.